Welcome all of you in online teaching learning process. We have started unit number 1, basic concepts in industrial chemistry, from the paper number 6, industrial chemistry. And in our last video we have seen basic concepts of industry, in which we have seen the details about the difference between classical chemistry and industrial chemistry. And in this video we will see raw material for the chemical industry. Then raw material for the chemical industry, in which that is all chemicals are derived from raw materials available in nature. Then the price of chemicals depends on the availability of their raw materials. Major chemical industries have therefore developed around the most plentiful raw materials. That is, all chemicals or a desired product is obtained from the availability of that raw materials. Then the natural environment is the source of raw material for the chemical industry. Then the main source to produce any chemical or any pharmaceutical product, which depends on the availability of the raw material in the nature. Then the production of desired product is possible only when the required raw material is available with good quality and sufficient quantity. So this is the main parameter to produce desired product. In our earth sphere, that is, earth sphere is mainly divided into 4 quadrants. Out of them, first one is the atmosphere. So this is the atmosphere. Atmosphere mainly consists of the gases that surround the earth, that is, it is air. Then second criteria is biosphere, that is all live or living organisms on the earth's surface. Then third one is the lithosphere, which is a solid earth material. Then hydrosphere, that is all water found on, under and over the surface of earth. So this is a hydrosphere. So earth sphere mainly divided into 4 parts, that is atmosphere, biosphere, lithosphere and hydrosphere. Then raw material from atmosphere, that is from first quadrant we have seen which raw material will be available from atmosphere. So the atmosphere is the area or field above the ground level of earth. So it is the main source of air, which mainly contains 6 industrial gases. That is, atmosphere mainly consists of nitrogen, large amount of nitrogen available, then oxygen, and also inert gases, neon, argon, krypton and xenon. And the second parameter, that is mass of earth's atmosphere, is near about 5 into 10 raised to 15 times. So large amount of mass of earth, that is 5 into 10 raised to 15 times. Then raw materials from the second quadrant, that is hydrosphere. That is, hydrosphere means water. So ocean water, which amounts to about 1.5 into 10 raised to 21 times or 21 liter, contains about 3.5% by mass dissolved material. So overall ocean water contains 3.5% mass material. So seawater is a good source of, that is sodium chloride, which is also called as salt, magnesium and bromine. So overall hydrosphere means, hydrosphere is the total amount of water found on earth. So this is the picture of hydrosphere, that is total amount of water found on earth. Then third quadrant is raw material from the lithosphere. So the vast majority of elements are obtained from the earth's crust in the form of mineral ores, carbon and hydrocarbons, that is coal, natural gas and crude petroleum material, that is petrol, diesels, beside being energy sources, are also converted to thousands of chemicals. So this type of raw materials which was obtained from lithosphere, which are the energy sources for our living beings. Then last quadrant is a raw material from the biosphere. So biosphere mainly contains that is life material, that is vegetation and animals contribute raw materials to the so-called agro-based industries. Oils, fats, waxes, resins, sugar, natural fibers and leather are the examples of thousands of natural products. So that is leather materials which mainly obtained from animals, oils, fats, then sugars. These are the agri-based products. So all these are the biosphere, that is living organisms. Then what is the biosphere? The biosphere is the combined portion of the entire planet where life exists. So overall Earth's surface consists of atmosphere, then hydrosphere, lithosphere, ecosphere, and overall it is a biosphere. Then next point is a material safety data sheets. So in the case of material safety data sheet, that is in short form it is called as MSDS, material safety data sheets. Then there are some symbols which was also available on chemical bottle in our chemistry laboratory, and they signify specific role or the specific hazardous nature of that bottle or that chemical. So in overall MSDS means material safety data sheets, a document that provides workers with procedures for safely handling or working with a particular substance. That is hazardous nature of that chemicals will be identified by the labeling of such type of symbols. So this type of symbols or these types of labels are available on chemicals, so which signifies the MSDS of that chemical. So overall MSDS means that is safe operation of a chemical process is primary requirement for the well-being of the plant and for its continued contribution to the economic development. So to progress or to carry out any chemical process, material safety data sheet play important role for the hazardous nature or to avoid such type of chemicals or to carry such type of chemicals with proper control. So the operating pressures, temperatures, concentrations of chemicals should always be within allowable limits. That is, to carry out any type of chemical process, there is a control of pressure, temperature and concentration of chemical is necessary. For example, if a reactor has been designed to operate at a pressure up to 100 kilopascal, then we have a control system that will maintain the pressure before this value. That is, if we want to carry any chemical process near about 100 kilopascal, then we cannot increase the pressure of that chemical process above 100 kilopascal. If we increase the pressure, then maybe explosion of that plant takes place. Fire. Then next parameter, fire also plays, that is a critical roles, and safety guidelines are necessary to control any incidents. So in each laboratory, chemistry laboratory, chemical plants, industrial plants consist of fire extinguisher, and this is the fire extinguisher. Fire is the most destructive for the plant, most destructive part. So precautions to prevent the fire and fight fire must be taken into consideration in the design of any chemical plants. So every worker or every chemist should possess the knowledge to control the fire suppose to carry if we are carrying any chemical experiment, and at that time there are some flammable liquids also available, for example acetone, alcohol, which can catch fire. If accidentally fire takes place, then we can control the fire by using this fire extinguisher, and such type of fire extinguishers are also available in our chemistry labs. The second picture shows if we cannot control the fire, then major incidents will be happen. Then in chemical bottles there are some symbols which represents the toxicity or hazardous nature of that chemical. Suppose the bottle contains this symbol which represents toxic chemicals, and this symbol represents carcinogenic chemical. So precautions should be taken while handling with toxic and carcinogenic chemicals, because carcinogenic chemicals will cause cancer to the human beings. So safety guidelines will be followed to carry out such type of toxic and carcinogenic chemicals. Then in each and every chemical plant, safety first is necessary for the health of human beings. So sufficient information about the chemicals and processes should be provided to the workers in the plant, or workers also follow that procedure strictly by using the some rules of the safety. So there are some symbols which was always present on the chemical bottles, that is this symbol represents explosive nature of chemical, then this symbol represents flammable nature, this is oxidizing, this is a compressed gas nature, this symbol represents eyes irritant chemical, then this symbol represents that chemical is dangerous for the environment, we cannot insert that chemical into the water. Then this symbol is a carcinogenic, that is health hazard. Then some chemicals are corrosive, some chemicals are toxic. Then the safety data sheets should be provided in the plants to carry out the procedure smoothly without any accident. There are three types of safety standards available. Out of them, first one is the initial standards, second one emergency temporary standards, and third one permanent standards. So these are the three types of safety standards. Then there is a one environmental regulations. Our Indian government implemented Environment Protection Act in the year of 1986 to balance the environment or to save the environment. And the Environment Protection Act which was carried out in 1986 after the Bhopal gas tragedy, which was happened in 1985. So there are some guidelines which was followed to protect our environment. So in the environmental regulations, that is the various laws of the state and central governments specify the temperature, concentration of chemicals and flow rates of effluent from a plant to be within a certain limit. That is our state government and also central government specified some specific guidelines in chemistry plants and industrial plants to follow the procedure to produce any type of toxic chemicals or any types of chemicals, to control the temperature and concentration of that chemical, and also the ejection of, or a flow rate of that chemical outside the plant. Such existing regulations must be obeyed, such as amount of sulfur dioxide that a plant can eject to the atmosphere. So if any chemical plant increases the SO2, then which is harmful to the human beings. Then the quantity of hazardous chemicals, heavy metals, etc. should be kept to the optimum level, which may cause serious problems to the river and lake water. So there are safety guidelines which was designed by Indian government. So these are included in the environmental regulations. So thank you all of you for listening this video.